Silencer Annual #1. Dan Abnett writing, Jack Herbert on the art. Me and Connor read this. Well, I assume
Yeah,
Connor read
that's
it.
it.
So this is a flashback issue. There's a little bookend at the start and the end with the home life of Honor and her family, and they're playing the PS4, which is clearly the PS4 because the controller is very clearly the
No,
DualShock.
it is. It is.
Um, and they're playing games, and there's the little joke there of he's trying like don't miss the assassin, Dad, kill the assassin. Amusing. But it's a flashback story to when she first met her husband in Gotham. Although that doesn't actually end up factoring that much into the story. It's just kind of like there. It's part of the story. But she's in
Yeah,
Gotham
it
on
just
a
kind
job.
of happens at the end.
Yeah, she's in Gotham for Talia on a job to kill. What's the big guy's name? The big villain dude.
It was a stupid name. I remember that.
It was like Reaper
Is
or
it?
something, but he was like big and bulky, so I didn't even think of the name.
No, it was. I remember looking at it and I was like, that was a stupid name. I'm gonna find the page
It
where he
doesn't fit
enters.
him, is what my main complaint was.
I just tried to answer having never read Silencer, just because I wanted to feel helpful.
Go on, Matt.
The
Give us a
the
guess.
Reaper.
The Reaper, yeah. It's like if you tell me someone's the Reaper, I assume they're going to be really like thin and sleek and like deadly and menacing. So, but he's this big bulky dude. But it turns out because we think she's there to do something with Batman. And, Talia is like talking to her over the comm, saying, avoid the detective this, the detective that. He'll be part of my family. He doesn't know it yet. This is clearly before he knows he's got a son, because 8 years ago, and. It turns out the mission's actually to stop the Reaper because the Reaper's going there to kill Batman. As if Batman needs the protection. That's the real funny thing here to me is that Talia thinks he needs the help, but Silencer's there to stop this guy from killing Batman. And she interjects, like she disobeys Talia because she sees like someone being mugged with a gang, and she jumps in and like kills all the gang members, and then wonders why the family are still terrified like from her. Afterwards, like you just blatantly shot them all in the head. That was pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
And then Batman
Yeah.
shows up, and we get a bit of Batman Silencer action.
I think that's probably my favorite bit of the issue because there's no dialogue, there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just 3-4 pages of this fight. And I think it's when the art's at its best,
And
where
silence,
it's just allowed to,
yeah.
to shine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That is probably the best part. And then the big dude shows up, and it's kind of like, okay, so it's goofy comic book stuff now. Although there was still some fun fighting towards the end when it went silent again.
There's a giant sword because this dude's like 9-10 foot tall.
Yeah.
And he has a sword of appropriate length. And she picks it up at one point, and it's far too big. It's stupidly big, like to the point where I almost did a double take of like, is that an art mistake? And I was like, no, it's just that big.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Cloud Sword from Final Fantasy VII.
Bigger.
Did Matt just
But
make
isn't
a
it
Final
nice?
Fantasy VII reference? What is happening?
I did.
Yeah, it's longer. It's not as thick as that.
Gotcha.
But it's much longer.
I mean, this show is pretty solid in terms of action. It is. It kind of falls into what I was saying a second ago about annuals, where it feels kind of unimportant. Like if you skip this, you would never feel like you missed anything.
No, but that's what I prefer out of annuals. I like this just being a nice little bonus of, hey, I got a nice little thing that fleshes out some context. It's like, here's a cool little scene with her with Batman and just some context of the family
I
life
don't know.
of Kay.
I have to critique it because at the end, the whole kind of point is that Talia doesn't realize that she taught me how important family was, and that'll bite her when she comes for me next or whatever, right? And all I could feel like, yeah, I've already had this attitude from Honor like the entire run. Like I feel like it added nothing to who the character is or what her mentality is.
That's fair, but I thought it was just an enjoyable enough issue.
It was okay. I didn't feel like it justified its existence, which is usually my fear with standalone annuals.
Fair enough.
It was fine. Like I said, the best part was in the middle when she was fighting Batman. It was all silent, but ultimately it amounted to like a little side story that, like, it'd have been cool if it revealed something new about her relationship with Talia. That it was like, okay, this is like another underlying thing that we'll have in our heads now in the main plot as she's like battling her and try to hunt her down. But it was just kind of like, oh yeah, no, this is exactly what she's been saying and acting and talking about since issue 1. So I don't know.
No, fair enough. Well, because I had fun with it. I think mostly like the middle section. I thought the fight scenes were really fun and giant sword.
Yeah, I like the decapitation was cool. I like a good bit of gore. I do.
Yeah.
Let's rate the Silencer annual. Connor, what you giving it?
That's a solid 7 from me.
More of a 6 for me. I feel like it never just like it's like yeah you can skip this and you wouldn't feel like you missed anything. It's not good enough to recommend going and spending the $5 on it.